John Harbaugh knows his team a lot better than anybody.
But,
however, I never liked it then. And I hated the play, by the way, because you've been killing them in the drop back game. And everybody knows, analytics will tell you that 51% of the time you're successful when you drop back and 38% of the time out of the pocket. Of course, everybody knows that. But, all right, thank you, Himbo. But anyway, I hated the play because you only have you have two options. You either run the ball or you're throwing it to Andrews. I get it. Andrews is great. But put it in the drop back game. I want the whole field. And when you sprint out, and Dan, you know, you got a quarter of the field. You have a quarter of the field to throw to, and you only have one receiver in there. So are we shocked that the safety came down and played that? I'm not. So I never liked that. But the other thing is, Baltimore, that was far different than the Steeler one where I was all for going for it there.
Me too.
This is the one you actually gained momentum. You had scored the last 13 points. You know, albeit, yes, you got a team that shouldn't beat anybody, but you had scored the last 13 points, and you have the greatest kicker in the history of our sport. Their kicker has been awful this year. So to me, I would have taken my chances.
Listen, we got to get out of this microwave NFL and start getting back to the slow cooker, right? They got back in this game because they continued to fight, because they had a quarterback that could make plays with their legs. They were the better team in the fourth quarter, and I get it. Against the Pittsburgh Steelers, I was all for going for two. You were losing defensive players. You had a quarterback who hadn't played that well all day. But now you have a guy that's rolling. And so if I'm sitting on the sideline where I know conventional wisdom says, you know what, we don't want to give Aaron Rodgers another chance. Well, they don't want to give Tyler Huntley another chance. The Green Bay Packers didn't want to see that dude in overtime either. And sometimes it's okay to get submitted. You don't have to play the game and let them knock you out. You go for that play right there and you don't get it. Game time, it's over. You go into overtime, and the same way that your quarterback, your young quarterback, and your defense has fought to give you an opportunity to win, give him a chance to do it. And he didn't do that.
I love y'all boys. I completely disagree.
With which part? You like the call and the play?
Absolutely.
The play sucks.
It's
the play
100%.
was god-awful.
It is 100% the right call, decision-wise, to go for two there. Going into that game, did any of you guys honestly think the Ravens had a chance to win the football game?
No chance in hell.
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
No,
So you're
but at that point in the game, I did. At that point in the game, I had changed my mind.
You were down 10 in the fourth quarter, so you automatically
came
are
all the
thinking,
way back.
So we have a chance to steal the game. Mark Andrews had not been covered all game. And
So what's to say he's going to get covered
Not
in the
as
next
an
10 minutes?
ex-receiver.
But you guys, yes, he was. He was dominant, Rex.
I know he was a dominant receiver.
So why would you not get the ball to your best player or focus
I'm not
on
gonna
getting the
put it-
ball to
I
your
would,
best player?
but I'm not going to put him
corner.
on the outside and
If
run a
it's-
sprint pass
if
when you
it's a
got a
better-
quarter of the field to throw to.
If it's a better throw, is it a conversion?
No. He was
Yes,
locked
I'm
up.
not going to say
ball's
that.
if that ball's to the front pylon, it's a better conversion. All right, so this is why I think
Aaron
it's
Rodgers
the right
throws the ball, it's a completion.
If I think it's the right decision and the right play call.
If he would have dropped back, he could have taken off. We saw him do it twice in the red zone.
If he drops back, they might get zero pressure, and the Ravens haven't had an answer
and now
for
I
zero
can throw it
pressure.
to Mark Andrews versus zero pressure versus
They haven't had
drop
an
back
answer for
pass.
zero pressure since 2018. So I think that this is why.
That's one thing I've agreed with right there.
This is why in the analytics community, this is the belief that if you're down multiple scores in the second quarter, in the fourth quarter, once you score your first touchdown, you go for two
the
then.
first time.
Because
Okay.
if you score again, you kick the extra point and win. And if you don't get it on that initial touchdown, you still have a chance to tie the game. But it is 100% the right decision to try to go win that football game. RC, you made a great point that, like, against Pittsburgh, they lost all their corners. They went into this game without them all.
But you've seen them, though,
Yeah,
right?
but
But we
you had
got to
all
know
week.
what they can
We
do,
had all
right?
week.
We've practiced for it. We've prepared for it. We've gotten the opportunity to see it happen on the field, and we made stops in the fourth quarter. Give me that chance to fight. Because when you go for that, you don't give me that chance to fight anymore. I think if I'm a Baltimore Raven at that point, we are the better team right now. We are the team that's playing better. We are the team that has momentum. Let's not let them off the hook.
Because you made one stop on defense in the fourth.
But it's the
They
stop
had
you
two.
needed to make. You made two stops and you made two touchdowns.
Two in a row.
We got to stop being so tied to the result rather than the decision.
But then
They could have won the coin toss.
But you can't say we're tied to the result. With last week, with 2 weeks ago
Why
against
was
the
it okay
Steelers,
against Pittsburgh?
it was okay against Pittsburgh because you hadn't played well offensively the entire game. You finally got one drive, and defensively you couldn't stop a nosebleed. It was the
That's
right
exactly
call
right.
then. This was different.
Momentum was
disagree.
completely different in those two games.
Can I say two different things? One of them is the problem with analytics in football is scarcity. It works in baseball and in basketball because analytics are based on doing something 1,000 times and seeing what the result is. And in football, in basketball and baseball, you do things 1,000 times. In football, they've now done it twice in 3 weeks and it didn't work either time. It doesn't matter the odds.
And they missed like 6 the entire year, though.
I'm with you on that, but like last week they are an inch away from it making. Now it doesn't. I get all that, but it's different if you're going, wow, we are beating our head against the wall, and the play itself isn't there. The play was there. It just didn't happen on both situations to their best guy.
Hey, here's my thing. Pittsburgh, right call. Last night, wrong call.
Yep.
And that can exist in the
I
same
think
world.
both of them are the right call.
Can I ask one other question and duck? Does anyone think that offense looks pretty good when Tyler Huntley is running it?
Oh, shoot, I do.
I don't know.
It did.
Like, it kind of looks like the offense they always talk about wanting to have.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like at some point, the passing game, I'm not saying he's better than Lamar Jackson. However, it looked like a little more rhythm. And to me, I'm going to say, I know you can't say it, but I'll say this about him. If this young man's name was Jordan Love.
Yeah.
The Green Bay Packer fans would be like, Aaron, we love you. You're the best. You're one of the best ever. But, hey, we're going to miss you. All right, see you later. Because they're going to be happy with this kid. But that ain't Jordan Love. And for people to say, well, Baltimore ought to look, they're going to trade him. Somebody say, well, get a third-round pick. Third-round pick with at least a 1 and maybe a 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're going to get for this kid. Whatever you do, don't let this guy out of your building.
I ain't doing
Let me rephrase it. Are there 32 better quarterbacks than him who currently walk in the face of planet Earth?
I don't believe that. But he ain't the best quarterback on his team. He's not finna get into that great.
He should be starting for somebody.
No,
right?
absolutely. I said it last night. If you are another team, you are looking at what it takes to package together to get Tyler Huntley when it's time. Right? He's going to come up and he's going to be one of those dudes that gets from a great backup to a mid-level starter, kind of in between that, and they're going to let him go out and earn it because when you see what he was able to do last night, that's 2021.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.